Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Today we are going to be doing 2 looks with the Ensley Rain Midwinter Dream palette. This is, oh gosh, this packaging is literally so stunning. This is one that is on the chopping block currently. In this video, I'm going to chat about why it's on the chopping block, and I'm going to create these looks with it as well as a full face. So if that's something you want to hang around and see, be sure to stay tuned. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, like the video, all of the YouTube things. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump on in. Okay, well, I'm filming this literally early as fuck, so just bear with me. I'm still waking up as well. I'm gonna go in and just prime my eyes with the MAC paint pot like I normally would. And I'm gonna do just one eye at a time because I'm gonna do 2 looks with this palette. Like I mentioned, it's on the chopping block. The main reason is that I've had it since February and I literally have yet to use it. What a literal waste. The colors I'm thinking about using for this first look are like these like purpley pink tones. So there's like not a super like light shade to set things with. So one that I thought would be really good is I pulled out the rose quartz palette and I'm gonna use this shade here, which is Cherished. And that is what I'm gonna just put all over the lid to set things down because it's really light, but it has a pink undertone. So I think that that'll be just a nice setting base to get things going. I've never used anything from Ensley Rain, so I'm not really familiar with her formulas, which I don't think, I mean, I'm not going into this thinking that the formulations are going to be bad or anything because I don't think that. I've heard so many incredible things about the formula. The main thing is just that I have not used it and I don't want to have it like rotting in my collection per se. Let's see. So maybe now let's go in with this shade here all over. It's called, God, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. I have no idea. That's a color I'm gonna use. But yeah, rotting in my collection, for lack of better words, just because I'm not using it. And I don't know, I've just been like trying to be really mindful of that over the last 2 years, not hanging on to products that I don't use because makeup goes bad, you guys. Some of it might last longer than others, but makeup does go bad. So instead of, you know, dying in my collection, why not get a product to someone that would actually use it so it's not going to waste? Like, that's my mindset behind this one being on the chopping block. Is just that it's almost like wasteful at this point to even keep it. I'm gonna go into the shade Frigid right here. That's what I'm gonna use on the outer. So far, this looks really nice. Blended really well, super pigmented, no issues. I just, I think that this palette is a bit too colorful for, I want to say, my current preferences, but really my preferences over the last year or so have switched to more neutral with maybe a pop of color here and there. And I have enough palettes that could give me a pop of color, like Mercury Retrograde from Huda, or even like rose quartz, Natasha Denona pastel, things like that could give me a pop when I'm like wanting one, that it would be like silly to keep something like this just for that. But wow, this formula is nice. Ouch, just like nailed my elbow on the old vanity there. I am getting like a bit of fallout, but nothing insane. Let's see here. What shimmer do we want to use? Thinking something lighter. I think this one, which was the shade Marenzna. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And that's the thing too, like I swatched these shimmers, you guys. Drooling. They're so freaking beautiful. And like that is kind of what makes me want to hold on to it, because I'm like, man, these are so stinking pretty, but like, will I use them? You know what I mean? It's silly to keep things around that you're just gonna, well, in my opinion anyways, I don't want to keep things around that I'm just gonna swatch here and there and be like, ooh, ah. Like I want to keep my collection pretty fresh with the products that I reach for regularly. So, wow. These are nice. This kind of reminds me, the shades that I swatched kind of remind me of a couple out of the Rose Quartz palette. I think that this formula is nicer, but the shades are similar. Wow, that's stunning. That is stunning. I really want to use a Snow Nymph shade. I'm trying to think like what something like that would pair nicely with. Maybe the teals. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so I went ahead and primed my lid with the MAC paint pot, and I'm gonna just go directly in with the shade I want to use first, which is this shade right here. And I'm gonna take that all over the lid and like, you know, in the crease and up into the transition, and see how that goes. The shade is wow. Super vibrant, very pretty. I'm just using a tapping motion. Try and alleviate like the most amount of potential fallout or patchiness. I'm like, not gonna lie, a little bit traumatized when it comes to blues after that like whole situation with the Odin's Eye palette that I had. That was rough. So hopefully I don't get that with this shade in particular, which, oh well, if you haven't seen that video, I will link it in the cards. That was just, that get ready, oh my gosh, I can't even talk, okay. That get ready with me was stressful. Now I'm gonna go into Cypress here, and that's what I'm gonna pop on the crease and outer corner. Just to deepen that up. Really pretty. I feel like I have shades like pretty similar to these tones in some other Natasha palettes. And these like like this color of eye look is not something I would typically do. Like I said, I'm just like I've been in such a neutral place that if a palette is not neutral, it's just like kind of dying in my collection over here. And I've kind of, you know, decluttered a lot of my more colorful items over the past year and a half. And what I have, like color-wise, like what I have kept and what I do reach for does like get used. It's just like all that I'm reaching for in that category, you know, like the pastel palette, like I do, like this is what I reach for when I want to pop, right? I don't really create full-blown colorful looks that often anymore. I don't know why. Just kind of a shift in preference and I don't know, time, creativity. Like I think stuff like this is so beautiful, and I used to do it all the time when I just had like time to create and stuff, and now I don't know, I just don't do that. I'm gonna reach into Snow Nymph, which is this one right here. It looks so stupid beautiful. When I swatched these, I was like, oh, about to keep the whole palette just for this shade. I was like, I can just feel it. Like, I'm gonna do some shit like that. But wow, it is so... I haven't worn it on the eye, but stunning. I need to touch it up, obviously, but... I think I might have went a little too far right there. I don't even think I can get it. Wow, that shade is just, wow. So freaking pretty. I'm going to clean up the under eyes and then I'll be back. Ooh, I had to go wash my hands really quick. These sparkles were everywhere, literally everywhere. For primer today, I'm actually gonna use some new products. I thought we would, or not, some new and like new to my rotation, I guess. I'm gonna use a Smashbox Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. I'm gonna just apply this to my like pored areas. The texture is like interesting. Like I haven't used this primer in a really long time, but I guess the last time I used it, I remember it being more of like a putty material. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. Could be. And then I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip 4% niacinamide. This is the oldest primer in my collection currently. So I'm going to be rotating it in to my basket to work on. Trying to do better at that. And I just thought we would do my whole face, and I know we did 2 looks, but I don't know. So we do a full face get ready with me because why not? Why not, you know? Just wipe my hands off. Then I'm gonna just like give this a second to dry. All right, now that's had some time to set in. I'm just gonna go on my Faux Filter corrector from Huda. My literal 5, which I am just using a lot of the same products right now because it's the end of the year, baby, and there is stuff that I am just trying to finish and not take with me to 2024. So you're gonna see a lot of the same stuff for a while, or at least until it's gone, which I'm using 2 different primers. Guess what might have happened to the primer that I've literally been using for months, literal months, you guys. It's been, I'll have to go back and see if I can pin down when I started using that, but the One Size primer, but it's been a while. I would say at least since August. Probably, most likely even before that. Like, it's literally insane to me how long I have been using that primer. Like, it just would not give. It is insane. Next up, we're gonna do foundation, and I'm still using the Pure Release BB cream. I do have one that I'm gonna be starting to test soon, and it is the Always On Smashbox Skin Balancing Foundation. It's the shade Fair 20N, and it looks like a smidge light for me. So I'm gonna have to do some, what's it called? Mixing probably for a minute. But I wanna use this one today because after this, I'm gonna be filming a Project Pan update. So this is the last time I'm gonna be using my end of the year Project Pan items for the month of November. So I want to get that one last use in, you know what I mean? And surprisingly, even though I use this all month, like, hasn't really gone down that much. It's starting to make me like low-key nervous that I'm not gonna finish it by the end of the year. And I'm like, oh my God, like I have been using it forever. So yeah, I'm gonna start testing that other foundation interchangeably after I get that update filmed. Okay, I don't know why, but in like my mirror, I feel like my foundation looks gray. But like on, like looking at the camera, I don't think it does. So I don't know what's going on. If it was just like the lighting's making it look weird or what. But that's wild. For concealer, I'm gonna be using the Natasha Denona, what's it called? The High Glam, and it's in the shade N2. This is new to me. I picked it up with Ulta Points recently. And I had the shade 3, but I felt like it was just a teeny tiny bit too deep for winter. I think it would be a phenomenal summer shade for me. But for winter, it felt just a smidge deep. So I ordered the shade 2, and I don't know. I feel like this one is just like a bit too brightening for my preferences, but the other one's too dark. So I think this one will be good for now, and this is the shade I've decided to keep. So I will be continuing to test it out. For bronzer, I'm gonna go into the Makeup by Mario Skin, what's also on the Skin Enhancer? Yeah, light medium. And I'm actually, after I use this today and like film with it and take the photos, I am going to repress this because it's just like, it's getting difficult to get a good even coat. And I've been mostly working like on the top to like thin it out instead of like focusing on a side or whatever. I've been working it evenly to thin it out. So I think I'm gonna repress it just because it'll be easier for me to grab and get a more even coating, which is exciting. I still am not sure if I'm actually gonna be able to finish it by the end of the year, but I'm gonna try my darndest. I will be trying my darndest. Depending on which video goes up first, if my Project Pan video is up by the time this goes up, then I will link it if you wanna check that out. And if it's not up, I'm gonna link my last Project Pan video in case you wanna get caught up on what's going on and what I'm talking about. Not mean. I will miss this bronzer though. It's literally so nice. It's one that I can like see myself repurchasing when my numbers are a little bit lower. So I will be continuing to test it out. For bronzer, I'm gonna go into the Makeup by Mario Skin, what's also on the Skin Enhancer? Yeah, light medium. And I'm actually, after I use this today and like film with it and take the photos, I am going to repress this because it's just like, it's getting difficult to get a good even coat. And I've been mostly working like on the top to like thin it out instead of like focusing on a side or whatever. I've been working it evenly to thin it out. So I think I'm gonna repress it just because it'll be easier for me to grab and get a more even coating, which is exciting. I still am not sure if I'm actually gonna be able to finish it by the end of the year, but I'm gonna try my darndest. I will be trying my darndest. Depending on which video goes up first, if my Project Pan video is up by the time this goes up, then I will link it if you wanna check that out. And if it's not up, I'm gonna link my last Project Pan video in case you wanna get caught up on what's going on and what I'm talking about. Not mean. I will miss this bronzer though. It's literally so nice. It's one that I can like see myself repurchasing when my numbers are a little bit lower. All right, for blush, I'm still using the MAC Go Play and So Natural. And I'm gonna just go in with this. It's just like a really beautiful shade for me right now. So honestly, I picked a good time to decide to like buckle down on using it because it's been in my Project Pan all year. And I'm like just now like heavily focusing on it, but I think it was a good time to switch. Man, my nose is so itchy over here. It's driving me literally insane. All right, now I'm gonna dip into my Huda Beauty Easy Bake, and we're gonna do some setting. Do the under eyes first. Let's tap these lines back out. Then I normally just take what's left and I pat that through the areas where I get like the most oily, which is like the T-zone and my chin. And then I reach into my more like skin toned shade with just like a fluffy brush, which my skin tone shade is Pound Cake. And I tap that lightly all over the face just to set it. Powder City over here. I'm gonna just take a little bit of that even for my eyes. Just spread it around. Spread it around town. Okay, and then I'm actually gonna do a little bit of a blush topper just because I have some new powdered blushes that I'm trying from MAC that were sent to me in PR via Skeepers. So I've been trying them, and like this is something that I do here and there, but not like super often. The blush is Warm Soul, and this is their mineralized one, which to me, I've used it a couple times and it reminds me of a baked formula. Which has been really nice. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of this and apply it over where I put that blush earlier, just to make it a little bit more, I don't know, vibrant, like bring it back, since the powder can kind of dull that down a little bit, which isn't like a bad thing, but yeah, it looks pretty. Beautiful. For highlighter, I've been focusing on the one from the Natasha Denona Tan and Bronze palette, which is this little guy right here. So we're gonna just go in with a little bit of that on our high points, which, like, I'm still not super into powdered highlight, I'll be honest, but I kind of have a lot of it, so I've been trying to be mindful to use it here and there, and that's kind of like I'm kind of deciding if that's like that quad is something that's even gonna stay in my collection, so I've been using it like even more. Okay, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of the honey glue from Pink Honey and run that through my brows so that they can just start to set while I do some of the finishing touches on my eyes. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I think I'm gonna go back in with Frigid for this side. I was thinking about using that black shade, but it has like sequins in it, so I think there's potential for like a lot of fallout on that one in terms of like pressing it down here. So I'm gonna just play it safe and go with this. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side using Cypress, which is what we used on the outer. All right, the next few steps are ones that I'm not gonna like talk a whole lot through. Like, I'm probably gonna mostly just speed them up. I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Cream Coal Liner in the black shade. And I'm gonna apply this on the waterline. All right, then I'm gonna use my Tarte Sex Kitten liner, and this is what I'm gonna be doing my wings with. Okay, so now for lashes and brows, I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Instant Brow Lift, and I have the shade Neutral Brown. And then for my lashes, I'm gonna be using a Pat McGrath Dark Star mascara. Okay, so here is the finishing look. Just for those like finishing touches, I did use my Essence liner in the shade, I think it's Okaba. And then I went in with a product that we got from Ipsy. I think it was in November. It's the EBH Satin Lipstick in the shade Taupe Beige. I really like the shade, to be honest, so I've been kind of trying that out as well. I will insert more close-up photos of each eye so that you can see a little bit better. With this editing app I'm using now, I can't insert like videos, which kind of stinks because I really like that. I think you can, you know, just see the payoff in the shimmer so much better with that kind of situation, but 'tis what it is, you know? And yeah, I don't know how I feel. I'm still gonna have to decide. I might do another look or two with this, like, to be honest, just to really get my thoughts on what I want to do. I think that both of these looks are absolutely stunning. They are so pretty. The one that I could see myself doing more is going to be this eye over here, but realistically I can achieve something very similar with the Huda Rose Quartz palette, so just kind of being mindful of that. But yeah, I don't know, it is so pretty, you guys. I'm aware. I don't know still if it's something that I'm going to reach for. Maybe I will now, more that I've dabbled in the shadows and I'm more familiar with the color story and the, you know, finishes and how they perform and whatnot, but we'll see. It's still one that's on the chopping block. I'm just like kind of undecided still, but we'll see. Yeah, that is all that I have today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Bye.